Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be unboxing Vestige. And this is the Swanky edition with all of the add-ons. Let's get rolling. All right, so I am ready to unbox Vestige, and I'm very excited for this one. I ordered it a very long time ago. This was quite a long crowdfunding, and over the course of that crowdfunding, I kept upping my pledge, and eventually I got to the point where I just went all in on it. I think it was like the day before the pledge manager closed. I was like, forget it, we're just going to do the whole thing. But that was in part because when I found this campaign, I don't know, this was all new to me. I hadn't played Vindication. I had never heard of Orange Nebula. And after backing this, I did more research and ended up buying Unsettled and enjoying that many, many times. So as my I did play Vindication once as well during the crowdfunding on this. So as time went on, I got more and more confidence with this decision to back this. And so I kept upping my upping my pledge. So we're going to start with this main box here. I'm going to put chapter descriptions. We'll get into some of these other boxes. I got a bunch of other boxes to the side, but we'll get into this stuff in a bit. And then I've got 9 of these little add-on packs. And these are cards that can be shuffled into this game, but my understanding is that there's no marking on any of these cards to be able to shuffle them back out again. So I will put a section in this video where I'll zoom in and I'll unbox each of these little packs one at a time so that if you're ever wanting to remove any of these packs from your game, that there's like a little inventory of what's in each of these packs for you, so you can check that out. But let's jump into this main box here. So a couple asides as I get this open. One, if I don't know if it'll come up on camera or not, but if my fingers and hands are all looking green, I was helping my kids dye shirts the other day, and that dye was real permanent. So most of it's out, but that green is really in there. We were on vacation for a week, and when this shipped, I was pretty disappointed in the fulfillment with this one. Not with the publisher, not with the game or any info, but with the fulfillment partner, because when this shipped, I got 0 communication, no address confirmation, no tracking number or anything. And so it showed up when I was out of town on vacation for a week and just sat on my doorstep. And the FedEx driver put it pretty far away from my door, so the box got rained on, but I think everything is okay. So let's open this up. I was just looking a second ago at this. This is not a ding. This is some of the artwork from this side that kind of spills over. It's the smoke coming up over here. I guess before we open it, we can flip this over too, just to show you the back. So this is what it looks like. So if you're not familiar with Vestige, it seems to me like a reimagining and re-theming of Vindication, and putting it in like a dystopian sci-fi setting, which is really cool. Or like a cyberpunk is probably a better description. So pretty excited for it. If you are familiar with Vindication, I think this will look pretty familiar, but they've gone really out of their way to put this in a smaller package. This is really a very small box, so I'm pleased with that. I think there's a lot of game for the small box. This will not be set again. The rulebook reflects an earlier accounting of components. The materials included here are the correct and complete set for play. A handler thought they could slip us a bad manifest and disappear. They were half right. Old records lie. Trust your hands. Interesting. So on the back here, they have a list of components. These are correct, and the rulebook's not correct. There's a couple of these things I've read online already, so I will... I'll try and point out what I can, but funny enough, this says you should have 6 double-sided player aids, not 4, but there's only 4 in this box. I'm pretty confident about that. And even though I bought the 5th and 6th player components, not because I ever expect to play with 5 or 6 people, but because I just wanted some extra colors to choose from, even in that box, I don't think there's the 2 extras. So anyway, there's the little disclaimer on top. It's kind of funny that they were able to get this into the box but not get the rulebook corrected. Not a big deal though. Doesn't matter. That's kind of a little funny though. What is this? This looks like a little pamphlet of, yeah, info on Vindication, Unsettled. So this is like a just catalog of other stuff. That is very interesting. Spirit Fire. I'm really interested in this game. This is still on crowdfunding, and I have not backed it yet because it's gone through a lot of development, and I trust that it's really cool. But I think it's going to be like a really pretty serious time commitment. It's like really a solo focused kind of an RPG, and I think it seems really cool. So I'm either going to not buy it or go super all in, and I would like to see like the final rule book or a playthrough of some sort to decide if I think I would enjoy it enough to throw that kind of coin at it. All right, rule book. That's what this seems to be. The rules codex. Here we go. And so yeah, I said this is the Swanky edition. There's also a Wretched edition. Really, the difference is the Wretched edition uses all wooden components, and the Swanky uses resin. So I won't go through the whole thing here, but flip through it a bit. Lots of colorful examples. 32 pages with the back. Nice. So the one other thing that sticks out to me that I remember was during setup. I think that it tells you there are 12 tiles that you always use. Yeah, here. The mastery tiles determine there are 12 regions with a lock icon and 7 others, but there are really 13 regions with a lock icon and 6 others. So just use all the ones with the lock icon. That's what I know. I still need to go through this booklet. Like I said, I played Vindication once. That was probably like 9 months ago, and I really enjoyed it, but I don't remember all the details, and then this is going to be a little different, so I'm going to try not to guess how it all works. But I will put a solo playthrough on this channel, or probably many over time. So if you'd like to see that, be sure to subscribe and like this video so I know. So here's cardboard punch-outs. These are the locations. Black on the back. This is very thick. This is Orange Nebula's, black core cardboard that they're very proud of, and it is very nice. It's definitely a thicker card stock, or a thicker punchboard stock. So it's very good. What do we have here? Expansion regions sold separately, which I do have. So this is just like a reminder tile. Oh, so these are I take it these are the standard regions, and these are the expansion ones. So we got a couple reminders there. These look like player aids. I've got 4 of them, not 6. Just black on the back. Or, there's some artwork there, but no gameplay information. Cool. That's nice. And then we start to have components. So we've got our 4 player boards. These are green, orange, blue, and purple. And my recollection is that these are symmetrical. They're not asymmetrical factions, but there's just 4 different colors. You play them however you play them. But the board should be the same, if I remember correctly. They look great. They are dual layer, but they're dual again, black core. So they're very thick for dual layer. It's really nice. So your cubes, you can kind of move back and forth through this area, keep track of your speed here. So this is double layer, put your cube there. There's some little action trackers here. If you've seen my my playthroughs of Unsettled, I bought like the extra action trackers that you may remember that like go over the top of the Unsettled player boards. So those were great, and so they just integrated them into these boards by default, which I appreciate, instead of making it an add-on. All right, let's see if I can figure out how to put all this back later. This here is for solo mode. You can play against 1, 2, or 3 solo opponents at a time. I think there's only 2 released to date, though. I might be wrong about that, but yeah, they've got their own colors, and you put their cards on these lanes, and that kind of tracks what they can do. I don't really know how the solo mode works. I will learn, though. Put on the channel. So that's Neoprene. All Neoprene. No boards. It's kind of their way. So the two main boards here, I want to say one is the alchemy board. That would be this one. The other one is like the, well, that's loud. I don't know what it would be called, the map. So it is, pretty rolled. I'm gonna have to try and figure out how to make this want to sit flat. This corner's pretty messed up, which is not my favorite thing ever, but otherwise the artwork looks really nice on it. It is very legible. I can read the icons, I can read the colors, I can read all these numbers. It's all good except for, man, this corner is really bunched up in a bad way. That's too bad. I'll figure it out. So that looks good. This is the alchemy board here. That is a sound. All right, this one, yeah, again, the outside corners do want to roll, but not as bad as this one. So you've got like your main three attributes here. You've got might, cunning, and ambition, and then the combos of them, ingenuity, guile, and intrigue. And you get your little player cubes and you move them around on here to get the attributes that you need and spend them to do stuff. So this is cool. I like that system. Again, that is really the Vindication system. And then these map tiles over here. Let's punch out this one. It's not a real map tile. This one, scan to see new releases for Vestige or visit orangenebula.com. They just had an extra space on the punch board, but these go here on the map. And you fill them all in at the start of the game. And your player pieces move on these triangles between the hexes. And so you can like visit any of the three hexes that are bordering wherever your little marker is. And I think that's a pretty cool system. That's unique. So I like that too. A lot to like. Let's get into the rest of this. This box here looks nice. Just says Vestige. I don't know what specifically is supposed to go in it. What have we got? Number of card packs. Remnants of the Fallen. What is this? Waste parts. Expansion to Sky Kingdom? I think this is for another game. What in the world is this? Yeah, apparently this is an expansion called Remnants of the Fallen for a game called, I lost it, Waste of Parts. The Waste of Parts. So this has nothing to do with Vestige, and I'm just going to set it aside. Not real interested in that. It's fine. What else is in here? Hopefully some Vestige-related stuff. We've got, Happy, Nemesis, non-player opponent. So this is there's another one here. Dunecrest Nemesis. So the Nemesis, these are, like your solo opponents. And I've got two off to the side here. I'll open these separately, but this is Bone and Scarlet Sage. And, there's three opponents, up to three at a time you can play against. So I didn't know if, that was just for making future expansions, but it looks like there's two in the box here as well, Happy and Dunecrest. So of these four, I can play up to three of them at a time. So that's good to know. And then we've got a couple smaller decks of cards here. And, these look like little card dividers. So I suppose all the cards are going to go in this box and they'll have dividers. I did order the pack of sleeves that was offered during this campaign. So these are sleeves with some artwork on them. So I assume this is enough to cover everything because that's what they sold. So I guess all the cards are going to go in here. Close that up. We've got another box. The stock boxes are really nice. Artwork is cool on all sides. Glad they put so much artwork on it and around it. All right, so here's my components. Take a look at these. So the four player colors: green, blue, purple, and orange. I thought they'd be maybe a little bit more vibrant, but you can tell what they are. And they've got symbols on them as well. So if color is an issue, should be able to get by with the shapes. Yeah, I think it's clear enough which is which. So these are the things that are going to move around on the map. I don't think 2 players can occupy the same space, if I remember correctly. So yeah, you can tell that that's blue. That's a really not very opaque blue though. That's fine. Let's see what else. Got a bunch of cubes. Every player gets some cubes. Blue. These look a little more vibrant. These solid ones, pink and tan and black, are again these 3 colors here for your automated opponents. Orange, green, purple. And then each player looks like you get a disc. Some discs. Oh, I think these discs go here to track your actions. That would be my guess. Maybe they have another use too, since there's some for the automated opponents. So, okay. Then down at the bottom here, we've got all these trays, and there are enough for 6 players. And I have the 5th and 6th player components, so they'll end up in here. And it looks like we've got spaces for all the hexes. I wonder what goes here. I'm trying to remember, what haven't I seen? Maybe just some of these smaller pieces. I don't know. I'll figure it out. So that's what's in the main box. So I'm going to sort through this real quick and get it back in here, and then I'll come back, tell you what I think, and open up the next box. So here we go. So that took about 40 minutes. Most of that time was sleeving these cards. So let me give you some thoughts on this. Not too bad. It is a little bit of a pain in the butt to put the neoprene away, but I think it'll be okay. So all right. So here are the boxes for the player components. No problems here. These work great. They give you 6, even though it's a 4-player game, because you can expand up to 6. And that is a kind of a theme with this whole thing. This base game box was designed with all the current, like, day 1 expansions in mind. So I will add the red and the yellow stuff in a little bit. And then below that, you can see there's space for the map tiles, the hex tiles, and they fit 6 in a stack. So I've got 6, 6, 6, and then just 1 left over here. So the expansion tiles will go in these other spaces. And then with these 2 boxes, I'm not sure if this is how it's going to be after I add all the expansions, but this box is mostly empty. And the space under the boxes was entirely empty. There's little trays there I didn't use at all. There are 7 of these little hex tokens, cardboard, and then there are the components for the 3 nemesis. And there's this one, I didn't show this before, this 4-sided die, which is kind of an interesting shape that you'll roll throughout the game. So there's one of those, and I threw that in here too. And some of that stuff may end up in these trays, but for now, it doesn't need to be loose. So it won't be. So that'll be red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Can't actually see what I'm doing from where I'm sitting. And purple. All right, this other box was all the cards. And so all the base game cards do fit in this one box, sleeved, with the sleeves that came with the game. A couple things, just kind of interesting. The way that these cards go in here, the little icon here is partially covered by the artwork on the sleeve. You could... It's enough, and it's labeled like this says smuggler. It's easy enough to tell what's going on. If that really bothered you, you can flip these sleeves over, but then you'd be like the opening would be at the bottom, and that's not gonna work for me. It's not how my brain works. So I'm gonna put this back where I got it. Yeah, it's worked pretty well. So it comes with these little dividers. So there's setup cards. What else did I do? Endgame conditions, chop bots, covert ops. and then it's the 6 different spaces you can go to, or related to each of the colors. So there's mercenaries, bounties, lawmakers, artifacts, smugglers, and augmentations. Then there are the Nemesis opponents. There's 2 of them, again, that came with the base game. I'm going to talk about that more in a second. And then 1 divider that just says Treachery. This is for Treachery. And I'm pretty sure there are no cards for that with the base game, but that is one of the scrap packs that I've got that I want to open in a little bit. So there seems to be a divider for just this pack, which is really interesting. I don't know if the other packs come with dividers or not. So one other thing was the 2 nemesis that came with the base game, Happy and Dunecrest. They come in these scrap pack boxes, and they've got some interesting like flavor information about them on the inside of the pack. But once you sleeve the cards, they don't fit in this pack again. If you don't sleeve them, you can take this pack and it actually does fit in here. So you can like keep them if you want that info. But I wanted mine sleeved, and I would like to keep this, but I'm not going to keep just a bunch of empty boxes just for the flavor text. But I don't think it was on any of the cards or around anywhere else. That's a little disappointing. It would have been nice, like, if this info was someplace that wasn't going to get, I'm going to go recycle this. So that was kind of interesting. But I've got a bunch of scrap packs. There seems to be, again, these are sleeved. If I push just a little bit, like, there's a ton of room in here. I think I can fit all the cards in this box. But if that is too tight, if it's not comfortable, should have no trouble just using this other box and putting the components that are in there under here. And they, even though they'll be loose, they shouldn't move around because these boxes sitting on top of them will hold them down just fine. So those are my thoughts so far. So I'm not going to put this completely away, but player boards would go on top of the cubes, and then this, which I don't know if it's supposed to be curved like that, a little bit curved. But that sits on here. You roll these up one at a time. Don't be a hero and try and roll them both up at the same time. Come on. Roll them up one at a time, and you place them in the little slot, and most of the time they stay. So let's do this. I'm doing this kind of hurried. That certainly could have been a little tighter, neater. This could probably just sit flat on top. When I unboxed it originally, this was like tucked in the side like this and kind of draped over just to here. But I think going forward, I'm just going to lay this flat on top because it fits. Why wouldn't I do that? And then you can put the reminders and the rule book and everything on top. Fits just fine. So let's set this aside for a moment and move on to our next adventure. Oh, also, I didn't count, but there's 50 sleeves in a pack. I think I went through 3 packs. I think 150 plus 1 out of this pack. I think 151 cards in the base. It may have been 201, but I think it was 151. Let's open up something else, though. And I think the next thing I'm going to open is the map regions module. So these are some extra regions. Let's see, 9 all new map region tiles, 4 alternate map region tiles. Ooh, so alternate Lawmaker Ridge, Mercenary Camp, Smuggler's Lair, and the Underground, which are all important ones in the main game. So that's cool. And then additional components, some white resin blocks, white wooden blocks, dark resin, the fox cylinder, dark wooden, the fox cylinder. Okay, interesting. Let's see what this entails. Then I fully expect all these components will just go in that main box. I shouldn't need this side box at all. There we go. Make sure you get those extra components. So this is the fox, which has to do with, I don't know, some of these tiles, at least one. White cubes. Oh, I see. So that's kind of silly. These are the wooden wretched components. These are the plastic and acrylic Swanky components. That seems a little silly to me, but fine. So here are our tiles. So these are the alternate ones, the Underground, Lawmaker Ridge, Mercenary Camp, and Smuggler's Lair. These already exist in the base game, but these are different versions of it. And so it says here, some players prefer a mode where locations with available contacts are hinted at before tiles are discovered, as opposed to the classic Fog of War style. The Map Regions module includes alternate versions of the 4 primary contact tiles marked with contact icons on their backs for easy identification. Oh, interesting. So you know, like before they're flipped, it's going to be one of these. That's pretty neat. I like that. I like that they give you that option. These others are just black on the backs. We've got the Bridge, the Rise, Floating Stones, Refugee Camp, the Den, the Ring, the Wound, Deserted Factory, and the White Raven. Cool. So let's get our box back out here and just get this sorted immediately. I hate to leave these rolled up if I don't have to. They need to flatten out some. Think about what they've done. Let's get this back out, get these back out. Oh boy, get all this stuff back out. And I'm going to put these 4 together. And you know what I think I'll do? I'll put these this way. So it's really obvious what they are. And then how many more do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because these are nothing. And I don't think there's any other tiles and any other expansion stuff. So I'm going to take this last, this is jump point. What I did was there were 13 locked locations, and these are stacks of 6. So these 6 are locked. These, where am I? These 6 are locked. These are not. And then right here in the middle, oh, you know what I'll do? These are the alternate ones with 1 locked on top. So there's 5 there. I'll take these. Can I get them out? These 6 locked ones. And I'll put them. Well, and that one's like delaminating already. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Which one is this? Lawmaker Ridge. Well, maybe I'll be using the alternate version then. Okay, well, that's what it is. I'm going to put these 6 locked locations here. So across the bottom are my locked locations, and then across the top will be the ones without the lock icon. Punch these out. Everything does punch out nice and easy at least. And if this looks a little clumsy, it's me. It's because I can't see into the box from this angle. This is better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So I guess we'll put a 6th one here. Or a 5th one. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Still got lots of extra spaces. I don't know if they're planning on more expansions or do I have more content than I realized. Then I think I'll take this box of extra pieces and I'll put all of these, the fox pieces in here. Chuck that in there as well. And I'll just leave it off to the side. Let's grab the next piece for unboxing here. Man, I'm surrounded by cardboard dust. And the next thing I'm going to unbox is the chop box module because I have the least understanding of what is actually in here. Because we already had chop boxes, or chop, what do we have? Chop boxes? No, I don't remember. As cards. They're like the robots. So I don't know what the module would be. Oh, chop bots maybe? Maybe I had chop bots, and this is the chop box. Or maybe I'm just confused. But let's open it up and see what's in the chop box module. Is that a neoprene mat? Chop bot for the chop shot. 12 cards scrap pack. Oh, foil cards. Oh, okay. I don't need this. So this is the same. These are the same chop bots that I already have, but as foil versions? No. Oh, these are regular. Oh, this is just 12 new ones. And then I bet these are foil versions of these 12. And I'm not going to use that at all because it's fairly bright and a little difficult to see. Very, very foily. Back's not foiled, which is good. So you can still shuffle them in with the other chop bots. So I don't think I'll do anything with this. What in the world is this, though? Like another neoprene thing. What is it, and where does it go? And how do I open it? Oh, it's like a chop bot, like market offers. Put the bots here. Put some on display. That is nice. I suppose this will go in here. I might want to roll it up the other way. Boy. I probably would have been okay with cardboard. All right. I'm going to sleeve these and put them with the other chop bots, which are right here. So these, I'll go through them quickly, are the originals. And it looks like this module just gives us an additional 12, so it doubles the amount that we have. And that's cool. More stuff is neat. So give me a second. I'm going to sleeve these up, put them away, and then we'll open up something else. Here we go. Okay, so no surprises with the sleeving there. Let's move on to something else. Next, I'm going to open up the Neoprene Player Mat module. And so I believe these are player mats for each player, or at least for 4 players, and they will stay in this box. Yep. So it includes game tray storage system, and then a blue, orange, green, and purple neoprene player mat. It also has space for the 5th and 6th player mats, but those are not sold as part of this box. So this is the only thing that will need to be stored separately from the main box. And I'm a little bit less enthused about this after seeing the neoprene, the other mats, because they're all just so rolled up. And so I don't know how well this is going to work, but I'm willing to find out since I'm here. Let's open it up, and I will show you this with the 5th and 6th player stuff momentarily. There we go. So here are the player mats, and yeah, there's space for 2 more. I remember seeing that these were going to line up with the player boards in a really visually pleasing way. So let's see if I can get one of these off and demo that. So that was a selling point to me, was the visual appeal. Because these mats, all they do is help you keep all your cards organized as you play. You just put your cards in front of you. So here's the purple one. Yeah, man, that is rolled up quite a lot. So I hope if I store these right, they will they'll unfold some. But let's see. What was supposed to line up like this? Okay, I mean it's nice. That's cool. I don't know. I'm not really sure what I was expecting, but there it is. So let's roll this back up. And we'll do this part on the inside now. Try and go the other way. So I think you kind of like get the idea. I don't need to do all 4 of these. I will put them in color order though. There we go. We've got our blue, our green, and our orange. So not much to it. This will store separately. Interestingly, whatever this dimension is, let's call it height, is not quite the same as the Vestige box. I noticed that earlier. So if I put too much stuff, put this here and bring this down to the bottom, line up this bottom left corner. The boxes are the same size in this dimension, but not quite this one. So I can demo that for you. Like so. I don't know if you can quite tell, but let me line it up on this side. So you can see down here by me, it's like a good 1/4 inch that's sticking out. It's a little bizarre that they didn't just make it a little shorter or make this a little bigger. Just that they're not aligned is a little baffling to me. Because it'll be a little awkward on the shelf, but I think it'll be okay, at least in my case. So let's open up something else, and it might as well be the 5th and 6th player mats. So this is just the neoprene mats for players 5 and 6, or for the 5th and 6th alternate colors in my case. So this is not a box I need to keep, even though the artwork on it is nice. There you go. That's all that's in there. No fluff. Doesn't need to be. Red and yellow. Great. That one was easy. And so while we're on the topic, here are the 5th and 6th player components outside of neoprene mats. So this is called the 5th and 6th player mob box. Can't pronounce anything in this game. And so this stuff will all fit in the main box as advertised here. And, oh man, so this comes with the Swanky and the Wretched components. I mean, I guess I kind of get it from like a SKU management perspective, but it's a little wasteful because everyone who buys this will only need half of what's in it. But here we go. So here are the red and yellow player boards. Those look cool. And then the components for me. And then here are the wooden components. So this is what all your components would look like if you had the Wretched edition. So I suppose I'll hold on to these, but I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But they're wooden components. And these are the acrylic and plastic ones. So give me just a second. I'll get them loaded up in here. And then that'll be all the gameplay components outside of the scrap packs. So give me a second. Let me take care of this. And then we'll move on to the next thing. Right, so I've got everything else boxed up here. Hopefully you could tell in that little time lapse that as I reboxed the main box here, I did put the Nemesis neoprene on top, and then the Chopbot neoprene on top of that as well, just flat, and it was able to fit the rule book and everything. And there's maybe minimal lid lift doing it that way, but I've got a lot of stuff not optimal in there. There's still those 2 little trays in the back below the tuck boxes that I don't really know what's supposed to go in there. I guess you could throw all those like Nemesis cubes just kind of loose in there, but that's anyway, that's all the stuff that's in there. It seems to fit okay. And then I've got the neoprene player mat module over here with all 6 mats in there, rolled up a little looser. So hopefully, it seemed to me that even over the time that I was doing this, that whole second half after I did the initial unboxing, when I went through everything else, that took about another 40 minutes. And so I've been going for about an hour and 40 now. And in that time, it seems like the neoprene mats, like the 2 main ones from the base game, when they were just sitting flat, they've kind of gotten a little bit more tame. So that is a good thing. I do have one other quick add-on to show you right here, and that is the tablet. This was a like art and lore book that I ordered that I was really interested in because I am just into that sort of thing. And so this was plastic wrapped, but it was the one piece I allowed myself to open before the unboxing because I was really interested in checking it out. And I was actually kind of surprised. It is neat, but it is a lot more text and a lot less art than I was expecting. So it's definitely something you sit there and read. And so I read through, I think just that much. Yeah, I read through, how many pages is that? This first little intro, page 2, 3, 4, and 5. And just reading through that, that gave me a much better handle on the lore of this game. And I just, even during unboxing that, like going through all the cards, I recognized things that were called out in here. So this is very interesting if you're into that sort of thing. I like the way that they put it together. It's not necessarily chronological. They've got this like, future history here, this timeline of the history, and each piece, this is almost like a found or assembled sort of, I don't know, jumbled together history. It's just epistolary is maybe the word I'm looking for. But so in each of these little entries, they give you a big dot, like this is where on the timeline it happened, and then other little dots on like this is other parts of the timeline that this little piece informs. So it is really interesting. There's yeah, a lot of stuff going on here, but not much in terms of artwork. I thought it'd be really more art book than anything. I mean, there is nice artwork in here, but this is all artwork that already is on cards and stuff, which is fine. But it's like not especially bigger in this book. So if you are interested in this, it's definitely like I thought there'd be a lot more like this and 2-page spreads, and I just thought it would be bigger. This is sort of a smaller sized book compared to like a lot of art books that I have. But if you are interested in the lore of this game, then I would suggest this. Again, having only read the first 5 pages, I would suggest it if you're interested in the lore. If you're looking for art, I would not consider this an art book specifically. Although the art that's in it is nice, it's really the same artwork that's in the game, and it's not a heck of a lot bigger. You don't get that much more detail, but the stuff that's here is nice. So I thought I would show you that. So that is called the tablet. So I'm still glad I have it. I'll read through the whole thing. Beyond that, I've got all these scrap packs here. So again, Scarlet, Sage, and Bone are 2 nemesis. 2 more nemesis, and then we've got Followers of the Codex, Cultivation of Power, the Scavengers, the Shrouded Underworld, and the Ascendant Machine. And so I think each of these scrap packs, all of these are 12 cards. The nemesis are 14 as normal. All the rest of these are 12. I think these are all like thematic things that you can add to the game. You kind of shuffle it in. So I don't know, each one sort of does its own little thing, and you can choose to include it or not. And then there's Treachery, which was the only one that the base game had a separate divider for, which is really interesting. I'm curious to know if you can divide these out, but I think this one was, I think this pack had a lot of direct player interaction where you can really mess up each other's plans. So that's probably the only one that I won't include in mine because I don't really like a lot of that. And then this last one is the community pack. And I think that these things were all fully or partially based off ideas during crowdfunding from the crowdfunders from the community. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these individually, one at a time, and I'm going to film that after this because I want to come back and I want to zoom in real close so I can really show all of these cards in these scrap packs. So give me a moment. I'll splice that in now, and then you can come back to this for the outro for the video. All right, so I'm going to go through these scrap packs now, and for the sake of video length, I'm going to try and go fairly quickly, but I'm going to show you every card in each of these packs. Now, the first 2 are going to be nemesis. So this one is Bone. So these are the cards for Bone, but they're easy to find because they have that character's picture on them. So there are 14 cards in this pack, just like there are in the other Nemesis packs. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. We also have Scarlet Sage here. So open this one up. I expect it to be the same, just like the other Nemesis packs, including Bone. There's a little bit of flavor text there on the inside of the pack. And again, a few setup cards, and then all these what are these called? Threat cards. And they have the picture of the character on them. Oh, and she's got some other stuff going on here, but of course her picture is on every card. So these are easy enough to separate. The different nemesis are easy to keep separate. So let's take a look next at the Treachery pack. Open this one up. So these are the cards in Treachery, and this is the pack that has a divider, and these cards are they have some higher player interaction, doing some negative type stuff. So we have Theatrix, Venus Thistle, Schism, Corrosive Canister, Hornweed Talisman, Brand of the Codex, the Choker, Sternum of the Codex, Rhetoric, and then we have 3 of these covert ops, which don't really have names. But this first one is spend any one attribute when an opponent or nemesis gains a contact. The next one is spend 1 conviction when an opponent or nemesis completes an artifact, augmentation, or bounty job. And the third is an opponent or nemesis just gained control of a region from you. So that is the Treachery pack. I don't expect I'll be using these. It's probably the only scrap pack that I will not include because I'm not really interested in that type of interaction. So next up, I have Followers of the Codex. Let's open this. And no, as far as I can tell, no sort of markings to tell you where this came from. But in this pack, we have Fascia of the Codex, Cranium of the Codex, Scapula of the Codex, Tarsal of the Codex, Fist of the Codex, Ganglia of the Codex, Codex Chronicle, Codex Enigma Engine, Codex Cryo Chamber, Codex Cyberchip, Graft of the Codex, and Scar of the Codex. So that's what's in that pack. Obviously very Codex heavy on the lore. This one next is the Shrouded Underworld. And we have here the Polished Mask, Spine of the Codex, Gaze of the Codex, the Velvet Leaf, Near Jam, Latch 23, the Anvil, the Silhouette, the Shepherd, the Flicker, the Feral Petal, and Patch 772. So we will put these away and move on to Cultivation of Power. Let's see what we have in this one. So, Cultivation of Power, we've got Forsythia, Dahlia, Hibiscus, Chrysanthemum, Hydrangea, Primrose, Nemesia Fermenter, Sap Infuser, Chloroplastic Graft, Iris Implant, Siberian Squill, and Rose Mallow. So those are the 14 cards, or I'm sorry, the 12 cards out of the Cultivation of Power scrap pack. Next up is the Scavengers, another 12 card pack. And in the Scavengers, the cards include Gavel, the Magistrate, Knave, the Cowl, Spleen of the Codex, Hide of the Codex, the Flowstone, Codex Carpal Satyr, Glowhawk, and then 3 covert ops. So the first one is at game end, have at least 1 job of each type, artifact, augmentation, and bounty assigned. The second one is at game end, have at least 1 of each contact type, mercenary, lawmaker, smuggler, without any influence on them. And thirdly, we have at game end, have at least 1 of each attribute type. Boy, I can't read this from here. Cunning, Ingenuity, which is the one I couldn't read, Might, Guile, Ambition, and Intrigue. Okay, so that's that pack. Then we have the Ascendant Machine. And first we have this card here that says, hey, this pack can be found with the waste of parts game. So it's a cross promotion. So that doesn't do anything for us. But then we have, interestingly, in the bottom corner, these all say 003. Like, I wonder if the rest of the scrap packs were supposed to have something like that so you could separate them. So these, I don't remember any other cards in the base game having anything down in that quarter. So this pack might be easy to separate, but we'll go through it. We've got Databank 7, Bearing 78, Conduit 11, Axle 13, Junction 99, Resistor 21, Neolithic Communicator, Organic Displacer, Gray Matter Drives, Motivator 3000, Transducer 22, Port 44, and then it looks like 2 chop bots that are holographic. We have Iris and Nancy. That's unfortunate that those are holos only. So I'll put all this stuff back in the pack. And finally, we have the community pack. So let's see what's in this one. We have, that's impossible to pronounce, Ephemedium, Pulmonia of the Codex, Dionia, I'm not pronouncing these, Musipula. Community, good job naming these. Great work there. Lightning Lace Leaf, Binary Bloom, Dreamweaver, Wired Braces, Joseph Alex, that's tough, La Salvage, and then 3 Covert Ops, and your final turn controlling the generator region, end the game controlling the observatory, and end the game controlling a region adjacent to your starting location. So those are the community scrap pack, and that covers all the scrap packs that I have that are separate from whatever came in the base game box. So I'll jump back now to the main video. All right, so I'll assume you've just watched me go through all of those scrap packs, and I feel very confident, at this point of time of me recording. I have not recorded me going through the scrap packs yet, but I'm confident that they'll all fit inside of the tuck boxes within this box, no problem even being sleeved. So that is my unboxing of the Swanky edition of Vestige. I'm very excited to play it, and I will definitely be playing it on this channel. So if you don't want to miss it, make sure you subscribe, like to this video. If you want to let me know that that's something you're interested in, feel free to share this video with somebody else who might enjoy it. I'll put it up on Board Game Geek so you can like and comment over there as well if that's something you want to do. And if you have the desire and the means, you can head over to my coffee page. That's ko-fi. There's a link in the description, and you can make a contribution to Table for One for as little as $1, either one time or recurring. For my active monthly contributors, you will get your name here on the reserved seating list, and the Head of the Table award goes to the top 10 contributors over the last 90 days. So thank you to all of my coffee contributors for keeping Table for One running. But that's it for this time. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching Table for One, and I will see you in the next video. Take it easy.